Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with the top 5 best PC game deals of the week. As always, some great deals this week, and let's get right into this with the Humble Bundle. Number 5 is the Humble Jumbo Bundle 8. This isn't the best Humble Bundle in the world, a lot of lower key titles in it, but let me go over it real quick. On the pay what you want tier, so that's a minimum of $1, that'll get you Valhalla Hills, Legends of Eisenwald, and the Journey Down 1 and 2 bundle. Things get really good once you beat the average of $7.12, however, that gets you Warhammer End Times Vermintide. That's a very nice inclusion. That game is around that price during a Steam sale. Jotun, Turmoil, Orion Legacy of the Cory Odan, Void Destroyer, and the Interactive Adventures of Dog Mendoza and Pizza Boy. So the games that I can tell you about: Warhammer End Times Vermintide, very good game. I think that alone is worth the $7.12. Jotun, I've also heard, is very good. And then you get 4 more games on top of those two. And then there is also a pay $10 or more tier, and that gets you Verdun as well, which was actually one of the top sellers on Steam, so that's a little funny. If you want Verdun, go ahead and get this Humble Bundle. You'll get a bunch of other great games along with it, so definitely a solid Humble Bundle. Not a lot of big marquee games from known publishers, but a lot of lower key titles that I think are very much worth playing. Moving on to number 4, Bundle Stars has got the Alan Wake Collector's Edition. So it's Alan Wake and all of the DLC for $5. Very good deal. I think Alan Wake is a really good game. This game came out on Xbox 360 initially. It didn't perform that well commercially. It was an 8-hour game released for $60. Yeah, people just were not gonna buy that up. It actually is not even 8 hours. I beat this game in like 5 hours. But then it was re-released onto PC. The port was very good. It looks great. And it's still the same game. I think Alan Wake is a very good game. I definitely understand why people were hesitant to drop $60 on it when it came out back in the day. But now for $5, you get the DLC. It's a solid purchase, and it's a very unique game. If you guys don't know what it is, essentially you play as a writer. I believe his wife goes missing and the whole game you're searching for her. Has very unique gameplay where you have to use a flashlight on your enemies and then you can shoot them. Very good direction from an audio and visual standpoint. Very much worth playing. And for $5, I'd highly recommend it. Next up, also available on Bundle Stars, Batman Arkham Knight, 70% off, down to just $6. I cannot believe it's been almost 2 years since Batman Arkham Knight has been released. I remember 2 years ago when this game came out, I was flipping out on multiple videos on how terrible this game was performance-wise. The game itself is really good, but on PC, it was a steaming pile of crap back then, but now it performs really well. It looks amazing on PC, and the game itself is very good. Personally, I do think Batman Arkham City was a better game, but Arkham Knight obviously technically looks much better. You've got a much bigger world to explore, and for $6, it's definitely worth playing. I know 2 years ago it was terrible, but now I can highly recommend it on PC. Runs great, looks great, plays great. Definitely worth a buy. Next up, over on Steam, you can pick up Mount & Blade Warband for just $6.79. That's 66% off. The Mount & Blade full collection is also available, 66% off. That's $15.29. That gets you Mount & Blade Warband, Mount & Blade Warband Napoleonic Wars, Mount & Blade Warband Viking Conquest Reforged Edition, and Mount & Blade with Fire and Sword. If you want all of the content, that is not a bad pickup. Otherwise, Warband for just $6.79 is solid as well. I feel like if you're just getting into PC gaming and you want to get one of the great exclusives, I think Mount & Blade definitely fits that bill. I never got too much into it, but I have some friends that put hundreds of hours into these games. I can definitely understand the appeal. Just great multiplayer gameplay, and with Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord on the way, now wouldn't be a bad time to freshen yourself up with the series. They're good games, and if you're building a PC library, they must be in it. But these games also aren't very hard to run, so if you are playing on, say, a laptop or something, if it's got decent enough specs, you probably will be able to run it. And these are games that you can sink a lot of time into, so definitely worth your money. Finally, over on Gamersgate.com, number 1 is going to be Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition. It's 79% off, down to just $8.50. Typically, the Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition goes for $10. I always give it a recommendation at that price, but now that it's down to $8.50, I can even more so give it a recommendation. For those of you that have never played Borderlands, I don't know what you're doing. They're first-person shooter RPG hybrids. They're great games, and Borderlands 2, a lot of people consider it to be the best. A lot of content in the base game, but then the Game of the Year Edition gives you all of the DLC content, which is a sizable amount of extra things to do. And a lot of people do say that Borderlands 2 is only fun when you're playing with a group of friends, and don't get me wrong, it's definitely an exciting cooperative experience. However, I played Borderlands 2 start to finish solo, and I had a great time as well, so don't be too scared off if you don't have a couple friends to play with. I still very much think that these games are worth playing solo, and for the amount of content you get, the great gameplay that Borderlands 2 offers, and the fact that on PC it looks really, really good and isn't that hard to run anymore, definitely worth a buy at $8.50. So that's gonna wrap up top 5 best PC game deals of the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you have a request for a future video, you can also leave that in the in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.